Hello everyone, welcome to this course on renewable energy power systems, and course code is E2250. So in this course, this is basically a one credit course, so which means we will have about 15 hours of lecture. So in this, so obviously 15 hours is not very long, and since it's a one credit course, we're not going to go in depth into every aspect of renewable energy and all. But then this course is for you to introduce what is renewable energy, how it is relevant in this modern power systems, and then what is the importance of renewable energy, how it is growing, and what is the relevance and all these things. So we are going to introduce several renewable energy technologies, and we are going to see how they are shaping up. Okay, so let's jump into the topic, and then we'll start by seeing what is the present scenario. So when you look at fossil fuels, so they constitute about 75% of world energy. So this is worldwide energy consumption. Now this is as of 2016 data. So 75% is a very significant number, and it's coming from fossil fuels. What are fossil fuels? Fossil fuels are mainly coal, oil, natural gas, and then there could be others. So basically, fossil fuels are something which we get out of the earth. So this is the energy stored in the form of coal or oil in the earth. So these fossil fuels are finite in nature. So they are not infinite. They are not renewed. So if you consume a piece of coal, then that piece of coal is consumed forever, and then you cannot get it back. You cannot convert the ash back into coal again. Similarly, if you consume some bit of oil, that oil which you extracted from the earth, and once the oil is burnt, you will again not get back that oil. You will have to find a different oil once again. So that is the thing. So what are the consequences? So consequences of this fossil fuel. So since these are fossil fuels, and they involve burning and all, so first consequence is pollution. So pollution of the environment and all, and the second consequence is disturbance in natural ecosystem. So in a particular region, if there are some animals living or some kind of natural ecosystem is set up, that will be disturbed. And then finally, as I said, since this is finite, so there is a danger of running out, of fossil fuels. So today you are using petrol or gasoline or coal or whatever. Once these things are completely depleted, then what happens? What would be the future? So some kind of uh, backup plan, some kind of alternative must be thought about. So what are the alternatives? So one alternative which came up is nuclear energy. So nuclear energy, as you may be aware, is involving uh, extracting the energy from atoms. So by breaking the nucleus of an atom, a lot of energy is released, and that technology is nuclear energy. And this is developed after World War II. In fact, during and after World War II. And this technology, the problem is, although it has increased, so picked up initially, but in the current current times, nuclear energy is stalling. So stalling means it's not growing that much. So what are the reasons for that? So there are several reasons. So one is safety, other is waste disposal. So once the nuclear energy is consumed, so once the nuclear process is completed, so the raw material that comes out, that is still radioactive, that is still dangerous, so it has to be safely disposed. So the disposal, waste disposal is a problem, and then cost also is quite high, and then this nuclear energy also results in weapons proliferation. So these are some of the issues pertaining to this alternative nuclear energy. And you might be aware of news where there are a lot of problems with nuclear energy in terms of safety. If a nuclear power plant gets some damage and it blasts, then the radiation will spread, and for many years there is going to be adverse effects, and so people have to be evacuated out of the entire city that is surrounding. So, what is the other alternative? So nuclear is one alternative, but then clearly it is not. Although several countries are still working with nuclear energy, but it is not uh, going to increase that much, is what is projected. So the other alternative is renewable energy. So that is what is the focus of this course: how we can use renewable energy to meet the energy demand of the world. So first of all, what is the key factor about it is sustainability. So renewable energy key attractive thing is it is sustainable. So whereas if I go up this fossil fuels, so I can write the fourth one. It is not sustainable. That means we cannot sustain it forever. So let me give you the meaning of sustainability. What exactly do we mean by sustainable? So sustainable meaning is continuous usage does not result in depletion. So the meaning is if if certain amount of that particular resource is utilized, then it is not that it is totally gone and then it cannot be replaced later. So for example, sunlight. So if I use the sunlight falling on the earth on Monday, on Tuesday again sun is going to rise. Again I am going to get the sunrise. So that is the meaning of this term. Whereas if you compare with coal, if you use a piece of coal, then that is gone forever. You have to search once again for the piece of coal. Another important thing is it does not cause pollution. Now this is also important because sustainability means we are able to leave the place exactly like how it is before. You are not polluting it. So you are not nothing is resulting in some kind of waste products which needs to be disposed and things like that. So that is about the second point. And third point, it does not cause any health issues. So health issues. And then last point is that health issues or social injustice. By the way, these points are all I found what is the meaning of sustainability from Wikipedia. So from there, these things are coming up. So so basically, it does not cause So this is very idealistic definition of sustainability. So for example, we can always argue, let's say hydropower is one of the renewable power. So if you construct a dam, a lot of villages have to be moved, or in the place where the dam's water is going to be stored. So in that place, if there is some human population, they have to be shifted, and some kind of social justice issues may come into picture. So strictly speaking, like, even for example, pollution. So solar power is clean energy, we say, but then the process of manufacturing solar panels, the process of disposing solar panels after they are used and all, again may still cause some kind of a waste material and some kind of pollution. So strictly speaking, uh, there's no 100% perfectly sustainable kind of a source. But then the if you compare fossil fuels and renewables, so renewable energy is definitely more sustainable. Basically, we are comparing more sustainable than fossil fuels. Okay, so we'll continue. So when we say renewable energy, so there are different types of renewable energy. So that's what let's list out. So some major types of renewable energy. So solar thermal. So here you are using solar power to convert into thermal energy, that is heating. Then there is solar photovoltaic. So here you are using the solar energy to generate electricity. So these are some examples. Then, as you all know, wind energy. So you're trying to extract energy from the wind that is flowing. And then there is hydroelectricity. So you have a river, and then there is a hydropower dam which is constructed, and you are generating electricity from that. So that is another example of renewable energy. And there is bioenergy. So energy extracted out of plants and the plant waste. Then we have tidal power. So energy again, or power extracted from the tides in a ocean. Then we have wave energy. So I think these two are more or less similar. Then there is another thing called geothermal energy. So what is geothermal energy? Is there is a difference between the temperature at the surface, and if you go down into the earth, the temperature raises. So we are taking advantage of this temperature difference and extracting some energy out of that. So that is geothermal energy. So these are some of the examples of renewable energy. There could be other examples also. So in some of these, basically we should understand, like, how these things work. So for example, you should be aware of one, their working principle. So what is the working principle of solar thermal? What is the working principle of photovoltaics? Working principle of different technologies. Also some economics. So economics plays an important role in development of all these things. So how much does it cost for setting up a wind energy plant as compared to a coal plant, and what are the things? What is the economics? So renewable energy typically is characterized by high initial investment cost and very very low running cost. So whereas the fossil fuels, the running cost will also be high because the fuel has to be purchased on regular basis. So that is the thing. And also, what is the potential of this resource? So not all of them are going to be mainstream and large scale. Some of them will be dominating the others. So what is the potential future of this renewable energy? and then what are the main technologies. So working principle, but then what are the technology also. So these all things we will try to, and finally, how does it impact on environment. So as a part of this course, as I said, we have about 15 hours of course. We will try to slowly go through one or each of these topics. Not only these topics, if time permits, we also have some other things like the topic of integration of renewable energy. So how the renewable energy which is generated, electricity which is generated, how it is integrated into the grid. So with grid, so there are a lot of technical and market challenges in that. So we're going to discuss about that. Another major topic, in fact, that could be a separate course. So is electric vehicles. So electric vehicles are becoming more and more prominent, and over the next 4 to 5 years, electric vehicles are going to become much more commonplace than what what we have right now. And these all electric vehicles have come with a storage. So how you can utilize that storage that is available in electric vehicle for better utilization. It could be multi-purpose use. You can store some energy and later on you can use it. So it could be used as a virtual storage and all. So another topic is what is known as heat pumps. So this is not exactly electrical energy, but then this is also very much becoming prominent. Like you are storing the heat, just like how a battery stores electricity. You are storing the heat in a particular water or some kind of material, and then later on that heat is used for some other application. So this is also gaining prominence. So these are some of the topics that we are going to look in this course as a part. So apart from the about different types of renewable energy, so broadly we can classify renewable energy into four areas. So four areas where renewable energy will play an important role. So of course the first area is electricity, and the second area is water or air heating or cooling. So for all kinds of heating or cooling kind of applications, we can directly use the renewable energy sources instead of uh, using electricity or any fossil fuel or anything like that. Now, another sector is transport. So as you can imagine, as of now, 2016 or 2017, the transport is majorly dependent on fossil fuels. You all the time you find petrol vehicles or diesel vehicles or gasoline vehicles. So, but in future you are going to see more component of electric vehicles, and that electricity also will be coming from renewable sources. So this is going to be a major change in future. And another thing is, so rural or off-grid energy services. What do you mean by this is, so sometimes the electricity grid may not be available at all locations. So in especially in rural areas or remote areas where there is no supply of electricity available, at that point isolated renewable energy sources will play a very important role. So these are the four areas where they are going to play an important role. Now, coming to this topic of renewable energy, if you want to understand what is the present status, then there is a interesting source. That source is called REN21. So this is renewable energy 21. So you just do Google search on this, and then you will know more information about that. Of course, I'm going to discuss something in the next part of this video regarding this REN21. So I mentioned REN 21. So this REN 21 is one of the very important resources. So you can visit www.ren21.net. In fact, I will show you this web page in a short while. But what is this? What is this REN 21? So the full form is Renewable Energy Policy Network for 21st century. So that's the full name of this REN 21. So this REN 21 has started in June of 2004. So and this started in the what is known as International Conference on Renewable Energies. So International Conference on Renewable Energy. So this happened in Germany. So during that particular international conference on renewable energy, countries from many countries actually, governments and then non-government agencies, researchers, academic institutes, international organizations and industries have come together and formed this network. And the objective of this network is to learn from one another to develop the renewable energy technologies. So, so this is objective to develop renewable energy in the world. So by sharing of knowledge, and then who are the members of this REN 21? So government, non-government agencies of several countries actually, then researchers, so academic institutes, okay, so institutes, industry, and so on. So very briefly, let's go and have a look at their website. So I'm just opening their website. So this is, so if you look at the top, ren21.net, if you go to this website, you will find something like this. So this is the website, and there is a renewable energy interactive map. So I encourage you to have a look at that. And then you see about REN 21. So you have about us, what is the governance, who are the members, and all these things. Annual reports, highlights, and how to get involved. Status of renewables. Now, uh, this REN 21 makes some reports, and the flagship report is GSR, Global Status Report. So this GSR report is very very informative. In fact, we are going to see some of the points from this GSR also in future. And then future of renewables, and then some based on some thematics, some kind of topics. So true cost of electric power, global status on local renewable. So like that, some things are there. Some events which are going to be there, and then some more resources, newsletters, publications, charts and graphs, and all these things. So I encourage you all to first go to this website, have a look at this, and specifically you can go to this topic, that is global status report. And when you go to global status report, you will get every year this GSR will be there. So global status report for this is 2016 available. 2017 it's actually under preparation. So once 2007 preparation is there, you can also, once it is completed, it can be downloaded. It can be downloaded for free. So I advise you to go to this. We are going to see some highlights from this global status report of renewables for 2016. But in the meanwhile, I am asking you to go to this website. So there are several infographics also. So so for example, this is one infographic. 78.3% is from fossil fuels, 2.5 nuclear power, and 19.2 is renewables. This is in the year of 2016. So like this, there's so many uh, infographics are also available on the site. So have a look at this, and then we will continue our study in the next lecture. Thank you.